Claressa Shields now all of a sudden is trying to hype up this fight with Kay Scott and says that the media is trying to sabotage her. Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Claressa Shields, aka, you know what I'm saying, crash out Claressa Shields, because there was a crash out live that Claressa Shields has done, y'all. And ultimately, I am going to spare you guys over here for right now to have us listen to it, because I don't have time right now to listen to Claressa's nonsense. But what we're going to get into is the following in this video. She is upset that people are talking down on her latest fight announcement and saying specifically that if people are boxing channels or whatever the case, that they don't know, that they only know certain popular female boxers that have built their brands, all of this. I noticed Alicia Baumgartner's name was not included in that, you know what I'm saying? Because Claressa likes to throw slick shade, right? She likes to pick and choose when she wants to acknowledge certain female fighters and then throw shade and downplay others, right? So then she's trying to go on a whole spiel about different female boxers, how she does her own research and picking her own opponents, and the reason that you guys don't know who Kay Scott is because y'all don't know boxing, y'all don't have the material, y'all don't have the, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, here's the thing. If Kay Scott, and this is no shade to Kay Scott, right? But ultimately, the undercard so far is Zeus Network. The undercard so far is Baddies. The undercard so far is Ray J. So if this was such an amazing fight, if this was such an incredible matchup, why is it on the backs of Zeus Network? Why is Zeus having to be on the marquee of all of this to push for the ticket sales? And see, Claressa is trying to make this about boxing, but it's not about boxing. It's about Zeus Network. It's about the fact that you do not have any opponents that you have to fight your coworker. And now, all of a sudden, after previously age-shaming people and age-shaming boxers that are too old, that she has said herself, now Claressa wants to tell us age is a non-factor, and that when she was 17, she fought somebody that was older, that was ranked 1 or 2 in the world or something like that. So age doesn't matter. And she's really trying to elevate Kay Scott, that Kay Scott's a beast, and all this and all of that. That yes, we hope for a knockout, but we really just want the dub. And that Claressa isn't just trying to have easy outs, easy fights, or whatever else. She's really trying to drive up Kay Scott because she needs those ticket sales. She needs the people to buy tickets to the fight. And if people, you know what I'm saying, with large platforms are saying this fight ain't it, I'm not supporting this fight, I'm not going to this fight, I'm not covering this fight, that hurts Claressa's bottom line. That hurts Claressa's ticket sales. So Claressa, although she claims she does not care what the people say, and she claims that people do not know anything and that they have not done their research and that they're not credible and all these things, you're still getting on social media to try to defend the nonsense, to try to defend the BS of it all. And that is where you have lost people. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand what the point of this is. Then she's talking about her weight and how she hasn't had to go down to 160 pounds in 3 years and all of this and all of that, and how difficult this is, and that it could change your speed, it could change different characteristics about your style as a boxer, and all of this and all of that. But again, Claressa, I thought the original coming down to 160 was supposed to be for Lauren Price, not for Kay Scott. You could not fight anybody at MVP Promotions because you're banned. Nobody said you're banned from boxing. They said you are banned from all things that pertain to MVP promotions, and they have several female fighters that are signed to them that would have been formidable opponents. However, you have to fight your coworker. You have to fight your coworker. You've ducked Chris Cyborg. You've ducked Hannah Gabriel for a rematch with her. You finally call out Shade Shagreen, but it was too late. And you're limited on your options. Pretty soon, your opponents might be baddies. Like, that's how bad it has gotten for Claressa. Why isn't the undercard other Salida Promotions fighters? And you're doing all this hyping up of Daniel Perkins and all this and all of that. And now you're trying to allege that, you know, you were told or whatever as it pertains to your boxing career that being a black woman, you have to work twice as hard and to get, you know, twice as much respect and recognition and all of this and all of that. And you wanted to compare it to the fact that other people who are not black have been able to build their brands. But here's the thing, Claressa. You are building a brand off of being with a married man. You are building your brand off of being a mistress. You're building your brand off of being a side chick. You're building a brand off of being a pick-me. You're being building a brand off of all of these crash out lives and all these crash out behaviors. And then you said that this is all a scheme set up by the media. That this is all a scheme that is set up by the media to sabotage you and sabotage your fight. And to get in your head so that you can lose the fight. Claressa, you know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. If social media is getting to you that much, you would give yourself a social media ban. Don't you know LeBron, every time his team is in the NBA playoffs, he does a social media ban? He does the whole 0 dark 30. You know what I'm saying? Once it hits April, once it hits May, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be on any social media because I got to lock in. I got to lock in. I got to take this to another level. I got to try to take whatever team I'm on to the championship. We got to move far in these playoffs. He does a 0 dark 30. He does an internet blackout, a social media blackout. Now, it's not to say that he may not have checked his phone to see what the people are saying behind the scenes, or his team has not told him what people are saying about him as he's in the playoffs and all of this and all of that. But what it means is that he's not going to be posting, he's not going to be feeding into whatever the critics got to say, whatever the haters got to say, because he's locked in trying to win. Claressa lets it known that the media gets to her, that the YouTubers get to her, that the boxing specific channels get to her. And she feels she has to take it upon herself and always respond. And always let them know that she is bothered by their commentary, that she is bothered by their opinion, and is trying to accuse people of trying to sabotage her. And trying to, you know, hurt her fight, hurt her ticket sales, all of these things. But Claressa, if you say that you're the best, you gotta beat the best. And you're trying to tell me, with all these other female fighters that are still actively fighting, that have all of these credentials, that have all of these, you know what I'm saying, opponents under their belt, that you couldn't fight with any of them? That K. Scott was the best that you could do? And then you're trying to promote this alleged Claressa Shields promotions only for Zeus Network to be all over the undercard. There are too many hands in the Claressa Shields pockets. There are too many hands in the Claressa Shields sweepstakes. But instead of Claressa realizing how bad she's messed things up for her brand and her image, she wants to cuss everybody else out. She wants to victimize herself. And I just don't understand at this point, when is it going to clock for Claressa that the decisions that she has chosen to make is why she is in the predicament that she is in. The choices that Claressa has made is why she is dealing with the things that she is dealing with, is why things keep having backlash. You keep saying you're the face of women's boxing. You keep calling yourself the GOAT. The GOAT should be fighting formidable opponents, should be fighting people that you keep saying are your peers and that are on your level. But every time we get a fight announcement, you know what I'm saying, like this, and it's no shade to K. Scott, but she's only had 7 fights. She's only won 5 fights. The way you're talking, you should be fighting the best of the best. But you know that this is a downgrade for you. You know that you having an undercard full of Zeus, baddies, and Ray J is not representative of a traditional undercard in women's boxing, of professional women's boxing. And Zeus basically came on board to sell and push these tickets, to sell and drive these tickets. And because people were making fun of you and dragging you and calling this ridiculous and calling this a joke, you got on the internet to try to spit boxing knowledge to people who do not care. Your audience does not care. That's what Claressa has failed to realize. Her audience does not care about these other female boxers. They don't care about Claressa's history of female boxing. All they care about is what lie Claressa is going to come up with today to cover up for the last lie that she told us she was not going to be fighting older female fighters anymore. That she was only going to be fighting the best female fighters that have credentials, that have all of these things. And Neil, after her behavior of slapping Alicia Baumgartner at a professional MVP Promotions Netflix MMA event, these are the consequences. You don't have the same motion of being able to quote-unquote handpick your opponents anymore. When you said you did not know who you were fighting, you didn't know the who, what, when, where, or why, or how, I believe it, because it sounded like whoever you were supposed to fight, that plan fell through. That plan fell through. And Neil, we got K. Scott, we got OnlyFans, and we got Zeus Network. And you're trying to convince the people, you're really trying to convince your audience, that was the purpose for this live, you're trying to convince them to not listen to anybody in the media. Only listen to you. That only you know what is right and what is correct, and that this fight is going to do what it needs to do. But I am here to tell you, Claressa, it's a bad look. It's a bad look and it's a downgrade for you to be on an undercard with Zeus Network. Because basically what it's saying is that you need Zeus Network to sell tickets, and eventually Zeus Network is going to say, we do not need you to sell tickets. They are going to absorb, and this is what I'm saying. The plan was already in place. Claressa missed it. The plan was already in place for the Zeus takeover of Claressa Shields, and Claressa missed it. Claressa was so desperate to be seen and to be validated by anybody. Zeus Network already came in February and was like, listen, look at here. We'll have Natalie Nunn perform. We'll potentially offer you a show. We'll canoodle with you and win records. We'll see the lay of the land, and we'll create our own version of everything. We'll create our own version of Zeus Boxing to where you can stream on Zeus Network the undercards. Back in February. And Win Records tried to recreate that with Win Records Network, and it flopped. Nobody cared. Claressa tried putting out music, Faithful and some rap stuff and everything else, it flopped. Remember, Claressa said she was going to be devoted to all this rap music. Nobody's listening to it. Nobody's streaming it. But Lemmy created Zeus music in like 2 seconds and released a baddie song that was better than anything Claressa ever put out. Neil, you show up as a judge for baddies auditions. Neil, this fight that is supposed to be about you, Claressa, is all about Zeus Network. Everybody's talking about it's a baddies theme. The baddies fans are going to be there. The Ray J fans are going to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's giving celebrity boxing match. It's not giving professional boxing. It's giving baddies boxing match, not professional boxing. So people are not going to take this seriously, and you're upset that this is not getting the praise and support that you were looking for. So you decided to do a Crash Out Live trying to educate people about women's boxing that do not care. You're trying to elevate an opponent that people already did their research on and are telling you this ain't it, we're not covering it, this is a slap in the face, this is a joke. So Claressa is trying to combat that so that she does not lose people buying tickets, she does not lose people not showing up to this fight or potentially walking out. Once it's time, you know what I'm saying, for the baddies fight to be over, once it's time for the Ray J fight to be over. Claressa has not accepted that she has lost a significant portion of her fan base with all of her shenanigans, with all of the infighting, with all of the stunts and shows. And she cares too much about what people are saying on the internet. She cares too much about these articles, about these media publications, about social media outlets that are dragging Claressa up and through here. You should be focusing on training for your next fight. Not worried about what social media is saying, but this is the same thing that she did with Franchon Cross. Is she feels that in her warped mind that this is going to bring, you know what I'm saying, attention and focus to people wanting to see this fight, but all it is doing is creating more backlash and more drama and more chaos, y'all. So nonetheless, that is it for this video. I need y'all to do me the biggest favor, and that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. There's that. That's it. That's all. It's todos, es final. It's finito. It's the end of the road. It's the end of the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post some content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.